Moving on, viewers, let's put the spotlight now on Nykaa. This time, the company did come out with a decent set of earnings, but what's the way ahead? Let's understand from Falguni Nayar, who's the founder and CEO of the company, joining us on the show right now. Hi, good morning, Falguni, and thank you so much for your time. First up on your earnings, Falguni, while most of the Q3 operational metrics were in line, but the profits were a little somber than what the street was expecting. So help us and give us some sense that going ahead, this 36 crores that you are penciling in, it has come to just 26.2 crores. What is actually weighing heavy on your profits at this point in time?
So I think before we jump to the PAT, we have to remember that our EBITDA has come out at one of the strongest number at around 6.2%, which is a huge improvement from a year earlier, where it used to be the consolidated EBITDA used to be at 5.5%. So there's been a very significant improvement in the EBITDA that the company has delivered. Beyond EBITDA, we tend to have investment in depreciation and interest, which is mainly to fund, we are rolling out a number of stores. We are at 210 stores, of which 45 were added during this quarter alone. And the store rollout has been strong. 12 were during this quarter and 45 during this year. And the strong store rollout in this year leads to some amount of increase in depreciation. We also would like to point out that between PBT and PAT, sometimes there is certain tax inefficiency. And since we are investing in international markets like GCC, which you're very aware of, that Nykaa is building a beauty, specialty beauty business in GCC, which again comes out a little adverse, which sometimes some of the houses don't factor in. So I think the disappointment there comes from the model not capturing what really is happening at Nykaa, rather than really in that sense. So I think at the EBITDA level, which is there's been a strong improvement in EBITDA from 5.5% to 6.2%.
Right. Your offline and online expansion, how will that split be going forward, and what's the outlook then on store expansion?
I think we have said that we will be going towards 350 stores over the next 2 years. But what I want to point out is that we have a very large e-commerce business, and even at this level of stores, and which are extremely productive, I think we still end up having only 9% of our omni-channel turnover comes through physical retail. So yes, our stores are, our store network is extremely productive with one of the highest per square foot revenue that we enjoy. It's at, I think we've given it in our press release. So it's at about 4,500 rupee upward of per square foot net revenue, revenues. And I think it's a very, very strong network that we are building. It's just a very unique, what I call as a moat, in the business, because I think we do believe that beauty, especially at the premium and at the top end, luxe end, is a very omni-channel business. Customers want that touch and feel to select the right products for themselves, be it the foundation or the lipstick. And I think what Nykaa offers is a unique dominance in both in online and offline. And with this kind of network, we are now in the top, we are in top 75 cities, and we are headed towards being in the top 100 cities in the country.
All right, but Falguni, you have been focusing on going global. Your international sales has been inching up and contributing as well. If you can tell us that which next destination are you planning to venture in next, and will the focus remain on GCC, and how do you see the contribution moving ahead?
No, I think wanting to be a multi-brand retailer in another geography like GCC, which consists of 7 countries, it's beyond UAE, includes the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, many other countries, Oman. So it's a very big commitment. So I don't think we're jumping into another region also. I think Nykaa will patiently build this network in GCC to about 70 stores over the next 4 or 5 years. Significant business at that time.
And what's been the discounting trend like across segments this quarter? And has there been any reduction on a year-on-year basis?
I would say that there's been a slight reduction in discounting, but not huge. I think over the last 3-4 quarters, we saw discounting. Nykaa doesn't do discounting from its own pocket, as you are aware, but a lot of brands have been increasing discounts that they offer to the consumer. and that has been increasing over last 3-4 quarters. I think the increase has definitely been reined in, and discounts are flat to trending lower, which I think is good for the industry. I think the beauty growth is picking up. A lot of international players are coming into the country. A lot of innovation is coming into the country, bringing consumers a lot of desirable products, the products that they really, aspirational products that they want to consume. And the fight is not necessarily only about the discount, but also about who offers great new products.
All right, but your margins have improved quite significantly in Q3. So can we expect this margin growth number to grow even more going ahead? And is this margin number sustainable?
Yeah, in the sense that because the third quarter is a festive season and it tends to be kind of a little bit of an outsized quarter compared to the rest of the quarters in the year. It is a big quarter with a lot of festive season demand, as well as Nykaa also does its premium Pink Friday sale in this season, which was also part of that. So you can see there is some benefit of higher scale and what it does to fixed costs and how they are, how they are spread across larger turnover. But I think the underlying EBITDA improvement that Nykaa has delivered is kind of a multi-year. I mean, it's a plan that is sustainable. I won't say multi-year, but over the next couple of quarters, we think we should be able to sustain that EBITDA and trying to improve EBITDA to the next level, based on the turnover and the all of the drivers of EBITDA that we put in place. I think one of the main drivers of EBITDA for us has been gross margin improvement, and a lot of things go into gross margin improvement because we have a number of businesses, e-commerce, physical retail business, our brand business. Our brands have seen some improvement in their gross margin structures. And also EB2B has also seen improvement in net retention margins. So I think a number of businesses are contributing to improvement in the gross margins, and that's been one of the key driver. And some amount of saving in fulfillment cost and overheads has been the other driver. Against that, we've spent more on marketing, and in fact, our marketing costs have gone up by 100 basis points, which is due to the investment we made in new customer acquisition, which has been at its highest level over last 3-4 quarters. And we're really happy that in this growing market, we are able to grow customers so much faster. So I think we are really, it's an orchestrated strategy to grow customers faster, and marketing cost reflects that. So I think marketing is considered a variable expense. So to that extent, we can always control it when we want to.
Right. Falguni, the street was penciling in a fashion GMV growth of 1%. It's come in at about 8%. What's led to these kind of robust numbers?
I think in this otherwise terrible market, it looks like robust performance. We are disappointed. We would love to continue to grow fashion also at a good pace, and I think it will come back. I think at the core to any success lies in e-commerce, success lies an assortment. We are working very hard to build assortment in the fashion category. If you see last year, over last 2 years especially, and again, even last year, we increased the number of brands, and great brands were brought onto our platform. Foot Locker is one example. We brought brands like Snitch, Victoria's Secret, and many other great brands we are continuing to bring to the platform, Cider, Revolve. And I think all of that will make it a unique destination where customers come to shop. Fashion is a very wide business, as you're aware. It consists of so many subcategories, women's Indian wear, Western wear, men's wear, accessories business, home, kids. And I think we are growing in all directions. So I think we want to make our fashion platform very interesting to the consumer so that, we can continue to enjoy the place of pride in the minds of our consumer, the way beauty has always done. So we do believe that fashion is a preferred platform, but we want to continue to make it more and more, endearing to our customers. And we always say that finally, the fact that we're able to enjoy much better AOVs and appeal to the customers who are looking for quality and something which is on trend, which is Nykaa Fashion is all about being on trend, getting better quality and afford and catering to customer needs, which are very much high on fashion, and not just on, not selling anything only based on a price So I think that's something which is very important to Nykaa.
But Falguni, how do you sense the competition rising in the online fashion segment? Because now that we know that Shein is making a comeback in India.
I think at some level, I mean, we are a multi-brand platform, and to that extent, Ajio has always been there. So I think it's been Myntra and Ajio and Nykaa Fashion is in a way just a 5-year contender. We launched this business 5 years ago, and we are really happy to be. Most of our consumer studies show that we are very high on a consideration set as a platform where consumers want to buy fashion because it's on trend and it's it's something distinct and unique and it's curated and brings them something that is of quality. So I think we want to cherish that position and continue to build on it.
Right. And what about the beauty and personal care segment? Because that was expected to do very well this quarter, but in turn, your BPC revenue growth has actually missed the consensus estimate. What went wrong? Because the GMV also was slower than expected.
I don't think it has moved slower than expected. In fact, in beauty, we have delivered 32% GMV growth year on year. And also the net revenue growth also has been at about 27% year on year. And I think we've said, and we just had an analyst meet also where we've said that this is one of the fastest, there has been acceleration in our beauty growth. So I think you probably may have picked it up from somewhere where I don't know where the source is, but I think it's pretty much in line with analyst expectation. It's one of the strongest growth that we've delivered in, I mean, it's accelerated. We've been delivering like 23%, 25%, and now it's accelerated to 27% growth.
And lastly, Falguni, give us your thoughts on leveraging the quick commerce and the 10-minute delivery platforms. How do you see the growth picking up from these particular segments?
I think what we have been saying is that I think we are quite aware that there are benefits of faster delivery to the consumers, and I think Nykaa has gone public and said that in 110 cities we deliver 70% of the orders are delivered by same day or next day, which means that if the order comes in before 12, it's delivered the same day, and if it comes in the afternoon, it's delivered the next day. So we have already improved our supply chain in such a way that we were delivering very fast in 110 cities. And over last 2 years, we've also improved our order to delivery from 4.5 days to 2.4 days. So we've generally had a lot of improvement. I think beyond that, we've also said that within this, faster delivery that consumers value, Nykaa is moving towards giving consumers faster delivery of maybe within an hour or 2 hours in certain cities and pin codes where it is possible through what we call as Nykaa Now. So I think this has been what we've been talking about, and I think this will only get acceleration and momentum as we progress through the year.
Right. Okay, Falguni, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time out and highlighting how your earnings have been and, of course, what the visibility is going forward.